And when Canadians were finally freed of the high-tax, high-spend Justin Trudeau regime earlier this year, they breathed a short sigh of relief because the new guy was supposed to be different and he was supposed to be better. He said he was an economist who knew how markets worked. He said he would cut back on the reckless spending and make it easier to create investment here in Canada. He said that he would do things differently. He said that he would get a trade deal with the United States. And here's where we're at. First of all, he kept the old people from the old government, the finance minister, the trade minister, the jobs minister, the foreign affairs minister, the justice minister, most of the front bench, all the same. So not really a new government. And instead of fighting for Canada and keeping those elbows up, he brought a calculator to a knife fight like his minister said that he would. He's adding up on that calculator a $1 trillion gift to Donald Trump, subtracting 86,000 jobs here in Canada and multiplying American tariffs on our goods by 2. And he's not spending less. He's spending more. Justin Trudeau was the most expensive prime minister in Canadian history. His budget was forecasted this year that we would spend $42 billion. The Liberals would spend that. The parliamentary budget officer says that the new prime minister is going to spend 60% more, and that amount is only growing. And somehow the new prime minister has found a way to spend more than the guy who spent more than all of the other prime ministers combined. For those of you watching at home, spending $26 billion more means making the deficit bigger, not smaller. It means less money in your pocket. The prime minister is hoping that you don't notice that. They are telling Canadians again, just like they told Canadians in 2015, that money is an investment and it's supposed to create more jobs. But here's how it adds up. We've lost $54 billion of net investment in just half a year going southbound, not coming here. 86,000 jobs are gone, and we have the fastest shrinking economy in the G7 with the second highest unemployment rate. Instead of the strongest economy in the G7, like the Prime Minister stood at every podium during the election and promised. These aren't stats. They're connected to people, to people's lives, to families, to paychecks. And every job loss in a place like Windsor, Oshawa, Ingersoll means another family isn't sure how they're going to put food on the table. A father isn't sure how he's going to tell his kids that dad doesn't have work anymore. Every person who wants to work and can't find a job doesn't have the dignity that comes with being employed. These are the real stories of the effects of these big numbers. And every time somebody who's working 1 or 2 or even 3 jobs goes to the grocery store and can't afford basic necessities, it is the failure of the principle that if you work hard in this country, you should be able to get ahead. That is why we fight. We fight for every single Canadian who's being forgotten and left behind by the big numbers that the Liberals are putting on the board.